Deadrop Snapshot VI just dropped a couple days ago and it was meaty. It was the first snapshot in 4 months, and Midnight Society packed in updates and future trends. And unless you're some unhinged hater, Deadrop looks like everything the FPS community needs right now. The team at Midnight Society is showing us what the future of game development is going to look like. If you grew up in the 90s, it won't be a surprise that Deadrop is taking a massive investment in the UGC strategy. Snapshot VI brought the announcement of open signups for the user-generated content program. Put simply, it's the 90s modding scene making a comeback. We'll be able to create new skins, weapons, and entire game modes, the whole 9 yards. It'll be interesting to see how soon Midnight Society allows creators to start modding content for Deadrop. From how they're talking, it looks like sooner rather than later. I think the goal is to get the community to come up with great ideas for the core game. In the spirit of relying on crowd feedback, Deadrop dropped a new Proving Ground map in Snapshot VI. The map is designed around close-quarter combat and is meant to stress-test tight geometry in a vertical extraction shooter. It's essentially 2 parallel apartment complexes with elevators, pipes, and ziplines peppered in for traversal. They've also added interactable doors, windows, and a ping system. So far there's a lot of positive reception. The gunfights are more intense, pathing is more direct, and it's brighter. Don't worry though, the original map, Cold Storage, hasn't been dropped. It's now part of Deadrop's new map rotation system. Just like Apex Legends, we can now see maps and queue times. The game is really coming into its own while getting basic multiplayer FPS housekeeping touched up. It's exactly what the community wants to see. Snapshot VI saw the biggest gameplay changes so far. We no longer have to rely on proxy chat and good faith to form dynamic teams. Midnight Society has finally implemented squads. We can now go solo, 2-man, or 3-man. The gameplay really changes when you know that most players on the map are rolling with backup. And speaking of backup, Deadrop introduced Cleaners. Cleaners are an AI squad of 3 that spawn randomly around the map. Their job is to remove dead bodies, remove dropped loot, and eliminate you if you get in their way. Currently, it's too easy to kill them and they don't do enough damage, but once tweaked, they'll be a nice addition to the gameplay loop. Midnight Society also gave us more gear in Snapshot VI. We now have access to frag grenades, adrenaline spray, basically Call of Duty's Battle Rage, and zipline thrusters that allow us to travel up ziplines instead of just down. This new tech is great, but that's not the best part. In what is going to be a staple in all extraction looter shooters going forward, Deadrop implemented something so simple, yet so effective. We can now pick up and move loot bags to safer locations before looting. Why no other game has allowed us to do this until now is crazy. The most controversial addition to Deadrop in Snapshot VI came in the form of the vendor. The vendor is the first sign of the game's future economy and reminded the community about the inevitable NFT integrations. Right now there's nothing remotely close to NFT itemization, so if you're on the con side, you can breathe. What we can do is buy and sell weapons and gear using the currency of Deadrop's universe, space dust. It's going to be the greatest balancing act Midnight Society has to face in the future, but for now, the economy is looking good. Deadrop's latest snapshot is enough to tide us over until the next big update. The game is progressing nicely and the developers over at Midnight Society are saying and doing all the right things. Are you guys still on the fence with Deadrop? Or is Midnight Society headed in the right direction? Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Don't forget to give the vid a like and subscribe to the channel, and as always, stay cool, gentlemen.